opportunities that our beloved Sunshine State offers to both local and international investors. Supported by various stakeholders, this summit is the result of the hard work and the incredible human capital that Ondo State offers. Under Governor Akeredolu's astute guidance, Ondo State has witnessed remarkable strides in various sectors, and this summit stands as a testament to his commitment to driving economic growth and development in Ondo State. Through his special purpose vehicle, christened the Redeemed Agenda, Arakunrin Akeredolu's tireless effort in promoting an investment-friendly environment, streamlining policies, and promoting collaboration between private and public sectors have laid a strong foundation for attracting investors and creating ample opportunities for economic prosperity. As participants in this summit, you will play a crucial role in the success of the summit. I encourage everyone to actively engage in various activities and sessions that have been meticulously planned. Embrace the opportunities for the networking that can happen here and collaboration with fellow investors, industry experts, policy makers, and government officials. Your interactions and contributions will not only enrich the summit, but also pave the way for identifying investment prospects and forging strategic partnerships. The agenda for the Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit promises to be rich and diverse and reflect the diverse potential of our state. Plenary sessions will feature keynote speakers and thought leaders sharing their insights on investment trends and strategies. Sector-specific discussions will delve into untapped opportunities in agriculture, mining, manufacturing, renewable energy, tourism, commerce, financial solutions, and other key sectors. The exhibition will showcase the innovations and investment prospects that abound in our state. During the summit, you will engage in thoughtful discussions on policy frameworks, regulatory reforms, incentive packages that create an enabling environment for business to thrive. We will explore ways to attract sustainable investments, which will in turn drive economic growth, create employment opportunities, and improve the quality of the life of the people. On behalf of Develop Ondo Investment Summit Local Organizing Committee, I extend our sincere appreciation to all those within and outside the state who have supported, especially our partners, the European Union, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, for their unwavering support and collaboration in making this summit a reality. Their belief in development and growth of Ondo State has been instrumental to ensuring the success of this event. The commitment of these international organizations strengthens our collective dedication to achieve sustainable economic development and prosperity. We especially commend our esteemed sponsors, the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Toyota Nigeria, Jitel, Green Energy, Montashek Engineering, and others, and our data firms, TS Business, and our excellent event producer, Brevity Anderson. Together, let's forge a path of progress and prosperity for Ondo State. Let us leverage the opportunities presented by this summit to create a brighter and more sustainable future for all. The time is ripe for transformative investment that will shape the course of our state for generations to come. May this summit be a catalyst for realizing the full potential of Ondo State as a leading investment destination in Nigeria and the world. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Razak Obey, the Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources and Chairman, Develop Ondo 2.0 Organizing Committee, restating the state's commitment in attracting and keeping investment. And a key demonstration of that is the fact that the acting governor is here, The Speaker is here, the Chief Justice is here, members of the Assembly are here. So whatever this summit is going to discuss, if it concerns lawmaking, the lawmakers are here. If it concerns policy, the executive is here. If it's what the judiciary needs to intervene with, they are here. So indeed, Ondo is set to receive you to do business. Yes, please go ahead. Thank you very much. He also appreciated some of their partners, one of which is our next speaker. We're going virtual now as we want to listen to the acting head of cooperation delegation of the European Union to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the ECOWAS, His Excellency, Mr. Ruben Alba Aguilera. Can we please listen to Mr. Aguilera?
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to deliver this goodwill message on behalf of the European Union. As you know, the European Union as a strategic partner for Nigeria is, for us, very important to help the country to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. We do know that development finance funding will not be enough. That's why we are taking active steps to support the national authorities so they can mobilize additional domestic resources and investments. And as part of these efforts, together with UNDP, we have supported the adoption of Nigeria's Integrated National Financing Framework, INFF. INFF is a tool to support long-term investments and to strengthen medium and long-term planning. It is also a tool for transparency, so we get a full view of the resources available for sustainable development. And that's very, very important for both the country as well as partners like European Union, so we can all assess different sources of funding, whether public, private, national or international, and to make sure that we activate and promote the different funding channels and we use the resources strategically to achieve better value for money. We have collaborated with Nigeria since 2020, and since the official launch of the INFF in 2022, our support has been already put to a good use in a certain number of areas, such as doing business reform and access to finance for women and youth-led businesses, as well as investment promotion. We are also very proud to support the Ondo Investment Summit, this event, as an example, as a paramount example of how much public and private actors working together can achieve to improve the social and economic progress in Nigeria, in particular in Ondo State. Over the next 3 days of this summit, the participant will have an opportunity to discuss critical development issues such as the management of fossil fuel resources and the use of alternative sources of energy, as well as to discuss opportunities for economic diversification. We, at the European Union, some of these topics are at the very heart of the EU-Nigeria partnership when it comes in particular to green economy and innovation, and we have a common objective to stimulate growth, to support the development of small and medium enterprises, to create jobs, particularly for the youth and the women. Together with the European Union member states, working as a Team Europe, as part of the Global Gateway Strategy, we have put together projects worth more than €1 billion targeting all of these areas. And these projects have already supported both public and private players here in Nigeria with policy and regulatory advice, capacity building and access to finance. Yet, we do know that a lot remains to be done because the potential to fully exploit the potential of private sector investment. President Tinubu has marked the start of his term with some bold reforms aiming at liberalizing the markets and redirecting limited fiscal resources. And I think these are steps in the right direction. But of course, we know that the federal system alone cannot address all of the issues to put in place a more business and investment friendly environment. So we really hope that this summit will also contribute to achieving that common objective. As Nigeria's long-standing partner, the European Union look forward to continue working with both public and private sector at both the federal and state level for the benefit of all Nigerians. I sincerely hope this event will be a success, and I thank you for your attention.
And thank you as well to you, Your Excellency, Mr. Ruben Alba Aguilera, speaking there as the acting head of cooperation and delegation of EU to Nigeria and the ECOWAS. Moving on from the EU, we go over now to the United Nations Development Program. Please join me in welcoming Her Excellency, Ms. Fati Atahiru, Deputy Resident Representative, Operations AI of the UNDP.
His Excellency, the Honorable Lucky Ayade-Tiwa, the Acting Governor, Ondo State, Dr. Samuel Oboku, the Managing Director, the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Organizer and Chairman of Develop Ondo 2.0, Engineer Razak Obe, all senior government officials here present, our royal fathers, fellow development partners, industry executives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am delighted to be here today at the Develop Ondo Investment Summit with the theme, Developing Possibilities. Let me start by congratulating the government of Ondo State for bringing together public and private sector stakeholders to identify areas of investment and financing opportunities and discuss pertinent issues that affect industries in the state. Forums like this are vital for knowledge sharing, problem solving, and partnership for development. And the United Nations Development Program, together with the European Union, is glad to have partnered with this state for this year's Investment Summit. The agenda for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 is a broad, complex, and transformative ambition that spreads beyond the sole delivery capacity of the government. If we must achieve the SDGs for the people, prosperity, and planet by 2030, then we must deliberately acknowledge that the private sector is an indispensable partner. Indeed, the private sector is critical for advancing development. Private sector contributes to the development by boosting production of goods and services, financing investments through taxes, and creating innovative solutions to help tackle development challenges. In developing countries, private sector operations constitute on average 60% of GDP, while generating 90% of jobs and 80% of capital inflow. I must, at this juncture, applaud the people and government of Ondo State, the Sunshine State, for it has come a very long way. It has recorded some successes in terms of low poverty and unemployment levels, as well as higher internally generated revenue relative to many states across the country. But there is still more that can be done. There's room for progress on all the SDG indicators for the state. Hence, we must collaborate, work together, and double our efforts on human capital and infrastructure development if we are to eradicate poverty in all forms across the state by 2030. As we pursue progress on economic and social indicators, we must also remember that environmental sustainability is critical. And in this context of sustainable development, we must also think ahead in exploring new technologies and approaches to ensure that the state is able to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I am delighted that UNDP has begun working with the Ondo State government on investment promotion and also providing support in SDG-aligned development planning for the state. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as decision makers, internal and domestic investors, project financiers, industry leaders, service professionals, and development partners in this room, we must all pull our weight, both in terms of expertise and resources, to promote investment in Ondo State. The government of Ondo State has documented several opportunities across various subsectors for investment. My hope is that through this summit, investors and partners will become aware of and explore the existing and emerging investment opportunities present in Ondo State, with greater focus on moving beyond the mere primary commodity extraction, but towards product processing and industrialization, without leaving the environmental considerations behind. Thank you, and I wish you a successful summit.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Ms. Fatia Tairu, Deputy Resident Representative Operations AI for UNDP Nigeria. Moving on swiftly from her goodwill, we'll now take another message, this time from our platinum sponsor. Please join me in welcoming the Managing Director, Niger Delta Development Commission. Welcome, Dr. Samuel Uboku.
Good morning, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, represented by the Acting Governor, His Excellency Lucky, the Chief of Staff, the Head of Service, top government functionaries, representative of the NDDC, NURP, the EU, UNDP, my team from the NDDC, the Chief Judge of Ondo State, Royal Fathers here present, gentlemen of the press. We from the NDDC were here as partners in development in the region to support this project of Develop Ondo 2.0 Investment Summit, because we believe that it is through partnership and collaboration that society can develop better. I want to thank His Excellency the Acting Governor for giving us the best of reception and hospitality since we came in yesterday. He actually showed us how hospitable the people of Ondo State are, and he also showed us that sun can shine even when it is raining. Well, for NDDC, we believe this program is also in line with our policy focus of partnership, partnering with government at different level, partnering with the public and private sector, and partnering with even individuals in different areas of societal development, youth development, women empowerment, and also infrastructural development. We believe that resources are scarce, and because of the scarceness of resources, it is only when we harness our resources together that we can complete projects. Rather than starting projects that will not be able to finish, having intention of starting a project and also completing it have its own challenges. So we believe if we come together, we can actually complete these projects. Hence, we are here to also tell the world that we are also open for investment and partnership. NDDC is looking beyond oil, because we know most of the IOCs are currently divesting from fossil oil, and we're also looking at what will be the future of the Niger Delta in the event that the IOCs abandon us and probably move out of the country, because it is evident that most of them are even selling off their facilities, selling off to local operators, and we know that the investment of local operators will not be able to match what the foreign investors are going to invest. Hence, the 3% of their budget, which is their contribution to the NDDC, we know that in the next few years it might also reduce. So when we get to that point, what is going to be the future of NDDC? That means we're going to have lower revenue. And in preparation for that, that is why we're also identifying with this program to look into investment. Because in our act, there is the provision for investment, which we are yet to tap. And NDDC is also open to partnering in investment, so that we don't also sit back and expect just our contributions from the oil companies that probably will be dictated by the future. Let us plan for our future today and rather take the lead to dictate for our future. That is what the new management of NDDC stands for, to secure the future of the Niger Delta people by investing for our future. And investing for our future, we're also looking at areas of possible partnership with the IOCs to say, probably some of the funds that they are contributing to us, let us partner with you people if these funds can also be used for developmental purpose. Rather than giving it to us, let us agree, how much are you going to contribute to us? Let us plan together on how to use those funds, so that you don't say you give these funds to us that will be mismanaged in future, because we want to be accountable to whatever little resources you have given to us. So I thought I should make this clear so that let the world know what the new NDDC stands for. The new NDDC is rewind to rebirth. We have rewind going back to where we started from, and we are rebirthing a new NDDC that will give hope to the people of the Niger Delta, a new NDDC that will be the pride of the people of the Niger Delta, a new NDDC that the people of the Niger Delta will be proud of, and not the NDDC that people will be casting aspersion on to say has failed. This NDDC, we want your support, and we know we are not going to fail you. That is the assurance we are giving to you. Now, let me start by joining the good people of Ondo State to congratulate His Excellency for his 67th birthday and wishing him long life, prosperity, in good health. I want to specifically commend you for the wisdom in organizing this summit, as it will attract foreign and local investors to come and work with the state government in attracting development and prosperity to the people. The team developing possibilities is both positive and symbolic. It connects to the topic of my presentation, which speaks to the potential for partnership beyond oil. Coincidentally, the focus of the current management of the NDDC under my leadership is on deepening partnership with private sector and development partners to ensure that we have the necessary resources to pursue accelerated infrastructural development. Thinking beyond oil is not only a pathway to sustain development in the Niger Delta region, but it is also fast becoming inevitable as the reality of energy transition and global climate crisis continues to stare us in the face. We need to act urgently and collectively, as we no longer have the luxury of time. Our experience in the region has shown that many oil and gas companies operating in the Niger Delta have continued to divest in line with their priorities. directly impacting the funds available for sustainable development that we seek. These implications of this confluence of challenges has put an additional burden on an agency like ours. So the only way to continue delivering on our mandate is to strive to be innovative in seeking partnership. Even before we got here, we knew that our oil and gas endowment is a non-renewable resources that will finish one day. We are the ones to bear the burden of explaining to our generation behind after us about what we did when the oil lasted. That is why NDDC was established, to ensure we build the infrastructure with footprints that will enable the next generation to have a feel of how we spent the money that accrued from the resources that God gave us. To make this happen at the scale that can make us justify before them, we need to build the right alliance of partners who share our vision. Partnership and stakeholders' engagement are intertwined. They are two sides of the same coin, as you can hardly achieve one without the other. We need meaningful engagement of stakeholders to form relevant and sustainable partnership. That is why in NDDC, we take time to listen to our stakeholders, to harvest their priorities and preferences, and ensure that our interventions adequately reflects them. That way, we ensure community buy-in, ownership, and project sustainability. The state governments like yours are one of our most important stakeholders. Your role in the Niger Delta is very crucial to the success of our approach. That is why the advisory committee, made up of governors from 9 NDDC member states, is an important consultative body we should be comparing notes with regularly to ensure adequate synergy. Under my leadership, I will ensure that the Commission will at all times be on the same page with state governments to build necessary synergy required to take the region forward while reducing replication, waste, and inefficiency. The truth is that endowment of our region goes beyond oil and gas. Just that we sometimes appear to be fixated on oil and gas and have therefore overlooked many other possibilities. For instance, unknown to many outside the state, Akure is a famous agricultural trade center known for producing and even exporting cash crops like cassava, palm oil, kernel, banana, and other important cash crops. Mineral resources like bitumen, kaolin, gypsum, and others found in commercial quantity in this state. Imagine what we can achieve if we can begin to harness the opportunities around all these resources. To harness them, we must begin to think creatively and challenge the often misguided assumptions about us. There is no better time to do this than now. The recent intention removal of fuel subsidy has impacted on the people of Nigeria through high inflations and across the country, raising stakeholders' expectations for us to do better. Since we are very, very much aware of our situation, we thought in NDDC the best we can do is to ensure that we also support the federal government in its drive to ensure that development is taken to the doorsteps of the people. And in whatever policy the federal government comes up with, we are very, very willing to complement those policies and to complement the policies of the state governments too. And in NDDC, I want to assure you that we are open for advice, suggestions from stakeholders. Hence, our 2024 budget, we have decided to ensure that all stakeholders are involved in preparing our 2024 budget. Our 2024 budget, we are bringing on board all the state government representatives and representatives from the IOCs and even that of the National Assembly to ensure that we build a budget that will be the vision of the people of the Niger Delta, not a budget that will be the vision of somebody sitting in Port Harcourt, so that all stakeholders will come on board, so that whatever projects that we are bringing to you are projects that you also contributed in suggesting. Hence, we have also advised that all the members of the committee should go out for stakeholders meeting with their constituents so that they bring to us projects that we are going to implement in 2024. And we are not looking at too many projects, because over the years people see NDDC littering projects all over the place. We are looking at few projects that we can start and finish. We don't want to do too many projects just for the political reason of trying to show people that we are bringing projects to your place. So it may not come all around. Over the years, NDDC have actually littered projects all over the place. Today, I can assure you that many communities in the Niger Delta, the only projects they have in their communities most times is only NDDC project. That is to tell you that NDDC is not a failure, as many people will think. NDDC have actually taken projects to most communities. But however, I also agree that some of these projects could be adjudged not to be too sustainable, or maybe they are not big projects. Hence, we have done this for a while. Now, we are now in the phase of carrying out big projects that will impact more on the life of the people of the Niger Delta. Projects that will be more of regional projects. Projects that we know that if we partner with state governments, will influence, will attract development. We are looking at building a regional integrational economy that will be integrated by the region. That is why we're also looking up to this investment. So I want to thank you people for this program and assure you that at any point in time, NDDC is willing to partner with Ondo State government and other relevant agencies and authorities that are willing to partner with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samuel Ogboku, the Managing Director of Niger Delta Development Commission. Of course, there will always be the need for chocolate in the world, regardless of what happens to oil. Ondo has cocoa. There are possibilities to be developed there. There will always be need for ceramics in people's homes, regardless of what happens to oil. The mineral resource is right here in Ondo State. We'll always need bitumen, at least for our roads, regardless of oil. We have it in abundance in Ondo State. And NDDC is saying, yes, please go ahead with the applause if you may. NDDC is saying, we are going to partner with you beyond oil to make sure all of these things happens. And he's also reminded us of the fact that NDDC has been meeting a wide range of challenges and solving problems in the Niger Delta that many might think they're not doing it, but indeed they are. Can we give him another round of applause? Thank you, MD. Thank you. Moving swiftly now to, and I would like to beg our remaining speakers to kindly keep to the time that is in front of them. We'll appreciate it. We're a bit behind schedule. Let's welcome now the Managing Director of Chevron Nigeria and Mid-Africa Business Unit, and Chairman as well, and Chairman of OPTS as well. He's not here, Mr. Richard Kennedy, but representing him is the General Manager, NNPC Chevron Joint Venture, a son of the soil. Let's welcome Engineer Andrew Omomehi. for Chevron's goodwill. You will tell he's the son of the soil. He couldn't go past the traditional rulers without the right salutation. You are welcome.
Okay. Goodwill message from Mr. Rick Kennedy, Chairman, Managing Director, Chevron Nigeria Mid-Africa Business Unit, represented by my humble self, an indigene of Ondo State, a proud son of Ilaje, Andrew Omomei, General Manager JV Operations of NNPC and Chevron. Your Excellency, sir, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN, ably represented by our own Acting Governor and Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Loki Ayedatiwa. Please, let's put our hands together for him. I also want to recognize distinguished members of the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker of Ondo State, the Chief Judge of Ondo State, members of the State Executive Council, our royal fathers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's with pleasure that I join you at this auspicious investment summit tagged Ondo 2.0 on the theme Developing Possibilities. This summit, which is in its second edition, demonstrates the government commitment to identifying the promotion and promoting investment and financing opportunities that exist in Ondo State. I'd like to commend the effort of the state government for this initiative, which provides a veritable platform for the state to showcase its potentials and opportunities, particularly to the investment community in Nigeria and beyond. The outcome of this summit will go a long way in complementing the strides already made by the Ondo State government in improving the quality of life of the people of Ondo State. Chevron Nigeria is proud to be here at this summit, and we've operated in Nigeria for more than 60 years, contributing to the growth, prosperity of the country and Ondo State. And we've also established ourselves as partner of choice. As a company and partner, Chevron identifies with the aspirations of the government and the good people of Ondo State. We have learned through decades of experience that our business sources in providing affordable, reliable, ever cleaner energy is directly tied to the progress and prosperity of the people we work with and the communities where we operate. And we have continued to work with stakeholders, including our joint venture partners, the NNPC Limited, and the government, to empower people in our communities, particularly those close to our operations and beyond, to improve their livelihood and enhance their capacity to achieve their aspirations and meet their full potential. Through support for strategic social investment in the area of health, education, economic development. As an engineer, I've had personal opportunity to be involved in projects here in Ondo. We built a chest clinic at the medical center and also science block and many other projects here in the state. Chevron takes seriously its role as a socially responsible corporate citizen, as demonstrated by our social investment footprints around the country and in the state. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, on behalf of Chevron Nigeria Limited, I thank you for this invitation and wish you a very successful investment summit. I'd like to add that Chevron, we are here to stay. And I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Andrew Omomehin. He is the General Manager, the NNPC Chevron Joint Venture, speaking on behalf of his principal, Mr. Rick Kennedy. Can we give him another round of applause? Chevron is here to stay. They are, by the way, the only international operating here in Akure, in Ondo State, not Akure, in Ondo State. So Chevron, we thank you, and we call on independents and internationals as well. Ondo is ready for business. Come, let's do some business. Okay, moving on to now the upstream regulator of the Nigerian oil and gas industry, that is the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, whose commission chief executive, Engineer Gbenga Komolafe, FNSE, is also a son of the soil, but is unable to join us today because he had to join His Excellency the Vice President on certain national assignment outside of the country. Representing him is the head of the National Oil and Gas Excellence Center in Lagos of the NUPRC. Please welcome with me Engineer Abel Nsa, FNSE. It's like we're being a bit stingy with our applause this morning. I don't understand. These men and women will attract investments for us. Let us show some appreciation by way of an applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richmond. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, His Excellency, the Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu SAN, the Acting Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Ayedatiwa. Please let me stand on existing protocol. Engineer Gbenga Komolafe sends his goodwill, and he really would have loved to be here present as a son of the soil. But he sends his goodwills and sends his apologies as well. So, Acting Governor, sir, please accept his apologies. It is a great honor for me to be part of this esteemed gathering of Ondo sons and daughters, investors, business leaders, and key players in the in different industries, and a pleasure to speak and interact with us in this summit as an important subject titled Matching the Opportunities of an Oil-Bearing State to Petroleum Industry Act. What should be and where we are headed. As we started today, there was a lot of discussions about the Petroleum Industry Act. That's what's giving direction to the industry. Remarkably, this subject is indeed apt, considering the rapidly changing global energy landscape, as many countries target net zero emissions by 2030. To begin, permit me to take this opportunity to extend my appreciation to the organizers and conveners of Develop Ondo Summit 2.0, spurred by the able leadership of the Executive Governor of Ondo State, His Excellency Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu SAN, for bringing together a broad spectrum of spectators and stakeholders and brightest minds from different industries and academia, creating opportunities for them to network and interact on challenges and emerging business opportunities to foster the development of trade and investment in Ondo State. Indeed, with the caliber of eminent business leaders and professionals who are here today, you can rest assured of high-quality multi-stakeholder engagement that will proffer sound collective solutions to key challenges confronting us to enable us leverage the grand opportunities available to optimize our hydrocarbon resources development as well as the development of other natural resources in the state. The global context. His Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the commitment from the Paris Agreement of 2015 and subsequent UN climate change conferences require us to pursue efforts to limit global temperature rise to within 1.5 to 2.0 of pre-industrial levels. Since this landmark agreement, and entities are establishing carbon neutrality targets, which in turn have sparked competitive low carbon solutions as well as created many new businesses opportunities and new markets globally. However, it has also generated some wide variances in perspectives and narratives in the global energy landscape. The International Energy Agency, IEA's latest World Investment Report indicates that investment in clean energy technologies is significantly outpacing spending on fossil fuels. Many of the oil and gas majors have transferred to multi-energy companies and have made huge spendings on green development in order to diversify their energy mix, reduce their carbon footprint, and abate their methane emissions. Indeed, while recent global investment trends allude to the defunding of fossil fuels, global investment in research and innovations in renewables and clean energy technologies are increasing as government race to stay on track with net zero emissions for 2050. For instance, IEA report indicates that the annual global investment in clean energy and clean energy technology, specifically relevant to the energy transition, increased by 20% between 2021 to 2022, representing the largest annual investment increase since 2010. Governments and energy companies are supporting major R&D and demonstrating projects in key areas such as low emission hydrogen-based energy, lithium-ion and lithium-free batteries for electric vehicles, and other critical energies. Investors, business leaders, and participants and delegates, permit me to delve further into Ondo State's hydrocarbon landscape and an array of hydrocarbon potentials in order to steer our discussions around creating viable direction for powering sustainable energy future in the state and the nation at large. Nigeria has adopted natural gas as a transition fuel on its course to energy transition. Unfolding event has equally shown that natural gas is our destination fuel, with a projection that gas forms a significant part of the energy mix for Nigeria by 2030 and beyond. This informed the criticality of the natural gas shift as one of the transition pillars to ensure that development, production, and domestic gas supply are vigorously pursued. Thus, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, in collaboration with its sister regulator, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, to deepen gas penetration and utilization through the implementation of Domestic Gas Delivery Obligation Framework, as stipulated in Section 110 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. The natural gas reserves in the Merem-Gado fields offer significant potentials for further development. The Merem field currently produces through the Merem NAC platform of Escravos gas plant. The Escravos Lagos pipeline, which traverses Ondo State, is a 2 billion standard cubic feet, 342 pipeline infrastructure. The Section C supplies 512 megawatts of motor shop power plant in the state operated by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company under the National Integrated Power Project. The ELPS offers tremendous potential for the state in the growth of gas-based industries, industrial parks, gas-fired power plants, and other midstream gas businesses. Distinguished guests, as many of you are aware, the Ororo Marginal Field is one very important asset located geographically within Ondo State. However, Ororo 1 has some challenges. Although plans are underway to get this under control and save the environment that is being degraded, may I at this juncture plead with the governor of Ondo State to kindly look into this situation as well. Further opportunities spurred by the National Decade of Gas Program. Dear investors, ladies and gentlemen, huge investment opportunity in upstream, midstream, and downstream gas sector has also been unveiled in the national context through the analysis of the federal government's Decade of Gas Program. At the heart of the program is the vision to drive infrastructure and industrial development of Nigeria in order to prosper our citizens and make life more meaningful to all. It has been projected that Nigeria may face an impending gas supply with potential shortfall of 3.1 BCF per day by 2030, except if high-case gas production and supply scenario is unlocked through gas exploration and gas infrastructure development. Major projects such as Train 7, Train 8, Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline, Ajaokuta, AKK, Ajaokuta, Kaduna, Kanu, the AKK, and natural gas pipeline, etc., will be the drivers, but will not meet the high-case demand scenario projected at about 22.2 BCF in 2030. Dear participants and delegates, the shortfall energy demand scenario narrated in the foregoing show that creating a viable path for value optimization in Ondo State and Nigeria does not only require commitment to hydrocarbon development, but demands that we have the right discourse on development of our renewable resources, as well as other critical minerals required in the energy sector. The regulatory and governance framework specified in Chapter 3 of the Petroleum Industry Act provide robust framework and mechanism that has ensured harmonious coexistence of the oil and gas industry players and their respective host communities, thereby guaranteeing conducive operating environment for our existing and prospective investors. The Commission, as part of its achievement, has registered 822 host community development trusts in effective implementation of the PIA 2021. Aside engaging on sensitization workshop on HostCom implementation, some of which was carried out in Ondo State recently. In addition, the Commission has, in partnership with the OECM, developed an intelligent digital automated platform for reporting and monitoring the host community development trust for transparent administration of the HostCom provisions of the PIA. Permit me to conclude by remarking that Ondo State is suitably positioned to become an economic powerhouse in the unfolding global energy dynamics, given its population and over 500 million people and abundant natural resources. It therefore behoves on the government, prospective investors, and all energy and mining industry stakeholders in Ondo State and Nigeria to accept the deliberations, suggestions, and recommendations made throughout the course of this summit as a call for action and a change for enhanced collaboration in unlocking the vast opportunities, leveraging our energy resources and market potentials in positioning Ondo State and our country, Nigeria, as a major regional energy hub. Thank you for listening.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, so from all the goodwill messages and the keynotes, we'll take a breather from the speaking for just 5 minutes, and that time we will use it to show you something else about Ondo State beyond the minerals and the hospitality. It is a cultural performance from the riverine areas, I'm told, and this time it is around one of the abundant mineral resources in the state. State troop, you have 5 minutes. Your time is now. Can we give them a round of applause as they take center stage to entertain?
Òṣùpá yòrò yòrò, ọmọdé àsìrè àlẹ́ o. Bí mọ́lẹ̀ bá wọlé, òkùnkùn ní láti paradà. Òṣùpá yòrò yòrò, ọmọdé àsìrè àlẹ́ o. Una mànàmáná ṣe pàtàkì. Ìkàlẹ̀ ìlàjẹ ojú àpọ́ì àti òdìgbò àbáwá ṣe òjìtà. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́ mọ́ májúbà rán o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́ àbòdì àbáyé mọ́júbà ẹ̀ o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Ukú apamọ́ mọ́ ukọ̀ pọ̀lọ̀pọ̀lọ̀. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Amapetuwo mọ́júbà ẹ̀ ò bá wa. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́ mo májúbà rẹ̀ o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Ògùrú ọlọ́lá odò àṣà máa gbé àmàpẹ́kù. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Ọba jẹ́kù ọ̀nà ìyàmẹ́jì wo máa ṣe o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́ mo májúbà rán o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Ìdèpọ̀ ọ̀ká ọ̀kàyéká ni wéjọ́ náà nínú bọ̀rọ̀ bá tọ́nà mú ẹ̀. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́ mo májúbà rán o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Kábíyèsí o bàbá mo májúbà rán o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Ọba ògbàrò mọ́dé adé. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mo májúbà rán o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́ mo májúbà rán o. Òkè rere mẹ́rọ mọ́júbà lẹ́gùrẹ́. Lára àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀ ó yá jájọ́ gbá o. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀ ó yá jágbá o. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀ ó yá jágbá o. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀ ó yá jágbá o. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀ bàmí ayé dà tiwa. Ó yá jágbá o. Èkejì gómìnà. Spíkà dá o. Ó yá jágbá o. Ó yá jágbá o. Jọ́kọ̀ yìí màmá dáná. Ó yá jágbá o. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀. Ó yá jágbá o. Àwarawa mọ́bẹ̀lẹ̀. Ó yá jágbá o. Àmì Olúgbénga lé. Ọmọ lọ́wọ́ má dẹ̀. Ó yá jájọ́ gbá o. Ó yá jájọ́ gbá o. Jọ́kọ̀ yìí má dáná. Ó yá jájọ́ gbá o. Gómìnà. Ayédàtiwa. Orí gbọ́n hàn o. Ògùrọ̀ ọlọ́lá odò. Ọmọ àjà yóò mí fọ́ múnẹ̀múnẹ̀. Yóò gòrì máa ré yín nẹ́. Ògùrọ̀ ọlọ́lá odò. Omi gbà múnẹ̀múnẹ̀. Yóò gòrì máa rọ́wọ́ wá. Ó yá jájọ́ gbà o.
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Honey, what time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
NDLE operatives stormed the Ofosu forest where they destroyed 29 acres of cannabis farm and arrested 4 suspects. The farm owner, Osamizu Chukwuemeka, who is 51 years of age, and his wife, Kate, and 2 others were arrested during the operation.
And the need for the media to engage in public sensitization on the dangers of drug hawking and the ripening of fruits with carbide has been stressed. And these were the concerns raised by the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, at a workshop held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. We have details in this report.
Fruits are a necessary source of essential vitamins and minerals that are vital to preventing vitamin C and vitamin A deficiencies. Drugs are also crucial for the health and well-being of individuals. But the illegal practices of selling drugs on the street and using dangerous substances to accelerate fruit ripening have had a detrimental impact on public health. Madam Lillian sells banana in Ibadan. She has been into the business for about 2 years and says she only adopts the natural way of ripening fruits.
It's small business. It's helping me. It's helping me. I'm not putting anything